James is taking exactly the same army as in our last game. So you've got Reclusiarch, 7 men in the Death Company, 2 power weapons in there, and a Thunderhammer, and then Death Company Dreadnought. And they are all being transported in a Storm Raven, Predator Annihilator as a heavy support choice, and then dedicated transport Land Raider, that's carrying 5 Assault Marines, and then 5 more Assault Marines, and they are in the Razorback Twin Link Heavy Bolter. Another Storm Raven. Inside those is 1 Furioso Dreadnought with Frag Cannon, and then 5 Assault Terminators, all with Thunderhammers and Storm Shields. So there's James's army, pretty mobile, and he's got some high-powered units in there. And for my Eldar, I'm running a heavy support choice. It's a Falcon, and I've upgraded, I've given it just a scatter laser. That will contain 5 Dire Avengers as a troops choice, and then I'm taking another 5 Dire Avengers, and they're in just a standard Wave Serpent Twin Link Shuriken and Cannon, and then striking Scorpions again, and Exarch, Scorpion's Claw, outflank, and they'll be outflanking in one of these Wave Serpent Twin Link Scatter Laser and Shuriken Cannon underneath. And our Warlord, Prince Uriel, he's going to be with a unit of Fire Dragons. Exarch is Tank Hunter, upgrade, and they're going to run in the Wave Serpent. Warp Spiders, again, did really well last time, so they're in the army. Power Blades, an extra gun, whatever it's called. And surprise attacks, they'll be able to deep strike. And then the Avatar is another HQ choice. And I'm running a unit of 8 Harlequins, 2 fusion pistols, and 4 Harlequins Kisses. And then there's a Troop Master as well, with power weapon. See how well they do. And then 2 more heavy supports, 2 Wraith Lords with Bright Lancers and swords. There's my Eldar. I've got away with static units. They were useless last time, so everything's pretty mobile. The troops are protected inside their transports. Quite a few twin link weapons to try and do some kind of damage to his flyers, and then some hard-hitting close assault units as well. For deployment, it's Vanguard Strike, Missions Crusade, so there's a central line of dice running up the table, and then James is deploying on the right here, and he'll be facing across the table, and the Eldar will be deploying here. And our battlefield stops here, running along this line, running along up here, so that's the battlefield. Eldar deployment zone here, looking out across. There's another highway running straight through the middle for our rematch. Each primary objective is worth 3 points. There's 3 objectives. The Eldar one is here. There's Blood Angel deployment. Now they're 2 objectives. One underneath the Razorback here, worth 3 points, and one just here, being guided by the Land Raider. James's forces looking out across the battlefield in this direction. Right, Eldar deployment. I've got 1 Falcon at the back here, with the 5 Dire Avengers inside. And we've got a Wraith Lord here, just watching the objective. Another Wraith Lord inside, just watching down through that gap, and then just hidden at the back here, I've deployed the Harlequin elite unit choice. And reserve, and deep strike, I've got the Warp Spiders, and coming on from reserve, Uriel and his Fire Dragons in the transport. Flanking is the Striking Scorpions, and then another unit of Dire Avengers in the transport. Blood Angel deployment, he's got a razorback here, just next to the objective. And he's got the land raider, just looking out across the field. Which is the second objective. In reserve, he's put the Predator Annihilator in reserve, will be coming on. This Storm Raven with all the Death Company, and the second Storm Raven with the Terminators and Furioso Dreadnought. So we're going to begin turn 1 coming up. At Blood Angel turn 1, James just moved around. The Razorback's now sitting on the objective in there, and the Land Raider's just watching over this gap. No shooting, night fighting rules are in play. And then for the Eldar, there's no movement from them either. Just the Falcon at the back shifted an inch, and all the other units have stayed still, so it's quiet on turn 1, moving on to Blood Angel turn 2. Right, it's Blood Angel's turn 2. James has reversed his Predator Annihilator, trying to protect his rear end from warp spiders. He's brought on his Storm Raven, it's coming up the highway here. Came on, fired 2 rockets at the Falcon in the distance and missed. And he's terrified of the warp spiders, so he's pop smoking, trying to protect his side and rear armour as best he can on his units. Eldar turn 2. Furio and the Fire Dragon has turned up on the edge here, and I've moved up, looking to move into James's objective dead ahead. Falcon shifted over and tried a couple of shots at the Predator Annihilator. Penetrated, but James got a 3+ cover save. And the rest of my force, the Harlequins are just hiding at the back. The Avatar and Wraith Lord has shifted back, and the other Wraith Lord as well. Just, it seems cowardly, but I have to back off from his firepower at the moment, wait to see what he does, and then react to him quickly. And then on from reserve, flanking, came the striking Scorpions. Transport moved on, deployed the Scorpions, and they ran an extra 5 inches. They are actually not on that top level, they're actually underneath. It's just easy to put them on top. They're actually underneath, hiding behind, so they're completely in cover and can't be seen. And he needs to back off that Annihilator, that Predator Annihilator, or I'll charge him next turn. Right, Blood Angel turn 3, James shot and stunned the crew on the Wave Serpent, and then he moved up his Storm Raven, shot and destroyed the Falcon, killed 2 crew, so that's them in trouble. But he shot with the Annihilator and failed to do any damage on the Wave Serpent. Right, Eldar turn 3. The Wraith Lords moved up. We're trying to screen my Dire Avengers, so the 2 Wraith Lords have moved up, shot and missed Flyer. The Avatars moved up to protect them as well. Dire Avengers moved from here across and ran, and hopefully hidden. The Harlequins I'm keeping behind, out of trouble, just to come in. You know there's going to be a combat coming. Inside that flurry he's got Terminators and the Dreadnought, so this is going to be a real fight over the Eldar objective down here. And then up the far end, Uriel's transport couldn't move, fired a few snapshots but didn't do any damage, and then the other transport here with the 5 Dire Avengers has moved up. I'm going to try and go for one of James's objectives. And around the other side, the Scorpions moved out and then jumped in the back of the transport here, which has jumped from behind, up and over. Now that fired and did 2 hull points worth of damage and silenced that transport there. Warp Spiders landed here. We're still in range of the Predator, fired and did 2 hull points on the side armour there as well. So Warp Spiders turned up and done damage again for the 3rd game in a row. So it's Blood Angels turn 4 coming up. Right, Blood Angels turn 4. Next Storm Ravens turned up. bearing down on my transports. It's got the Def Company inside, and the other transport's gone into hover mode and it's deployed one Dreadnought out back here, heading towards my warp spiders. Don't know why on earth he's doing that, because I won't be there next turn. And then he's popped smoke just to protect himself, and then the Terminators have come out the front. I knew they would. They're going to head towards my Wraith Lords. And then his other vehicles are just sitting there. This Predator is going to try and take on my transport there, and the Land Raider is going to have shots at my transports dead ahead. Blood Angel shooting phase. Storm Raven fired. Rocket, twinning laser cannon and twin link multi-melter and killed a Wraith Lord. Was in trouble there, and he fired the last rocket at the other Wraith Lord, but it made a cover save. Around here, the other Storm Raven shot down and immobilised Uriel's transport with the Fire Dragons, so they're now stuck in the transport there. It's been a good turn of fire for the Blood Angels. Just go around to annihilate without to do any damage to my transport. But his twin-linked heavy bolters on the Razorback firing snapshots, and one on the Land Raider fired, and I've killed 3 of my warp spiders. They passed them around, the Exarch's dead, so that's a shame. And then he shot through with the las cannons there and failed to do any damage to my wave serpents. Blood Angel assault phase. Terminators tried to charge the Avatar and failed, so the Eldar turn 4 coming up. Eldar turn 4 movement. Move the Harlequins around, and I'm hoping they'll be able to get in charge. It's about 8-9 inches. It's going to be a tough one. Trying to charge the Terminators there. Got the Avatar and the Wraith Lord both moving up. Might try and charge the Wraith Lord at the Storm Raven. Dire Avengers disappeared. Should stay out of trouble. Back there. Eldar transport is stuck with Uriel and the Dragons, so I'm going to leave them inside. Don't want to lose my Warlord with this Def Company looming down on top of me. This transport's just moved underneath. I'm going to try and get him to go flat out later. The transport's moved up. Next we'll be able to fire at the side of his transport there. The Scorpions have got out looking to assault. Next turn, and the Warp Spiders jumped in and behind the Predator, seeking revenge, so hopefully take that out. So we're on his objective here. It's tight going, and we're still not entirely sure what he's going to do with this Def Company unit in the Storm Raven. So the game is still in the balance, turn 4. Right, so this is Eldar turn 4 shooting. The Avatar fired. He's Wailing Doom, whatever it's called, and he killed a Terminator, which of course is down to 4. So this transport shot up at the transport and failed to hit and do any damage, and the Warp Spiders shot into the rear of the Predator Annihilator and destroyed it, and then jumped to the far side. This transport came from under the bridge, moving flat out around here. So there's Dire Avengers inside there. Scorpions moved up. This one shot and destroyed the transport. Assault Marines disembarked and hiding around the back here. It's about a draw at the moment on turn 4. Just got Eldar assaults coming up next. Eldar assault on turn 4. Wraith Lord rolled a 9 on his charge range, so he reached the transport that now counts as a fast skimmer and destroyed it. Eldar Avatar charged in, killed one, and he took a wound in return, so that's a drawn melee. Brilliant news. Sadly, the Harlequins didn't make it, so they're still holding back there. But the Avatar's holding, needs to hold for one more turn, and the Harlequins can move up, and our objective is pretty safe now. Brilliant news. So moving on now to Blood Angel turn 5. Right, Blood Angels turn 5. Move the transport down from upstairs, gone into hover mode. Rolled a 1. Immobilised, so it's stuck there now. Def Company got out. And the Dreadnought got out. He's looking to try and... Well, he tried to destroy the transport to clear a path to the striking Scorpions, that failed. And the Reclusiarch's gone independent from the unit. He's going to try and charge the Warp Spiders on his own. The Blood Angels Assault Tab 5. Ecclesiarch charged the Warp Spider. It was a draw. His Death Company and the Dreadnought Charger Transport blew it up and killed one Warp Spider in the explosion and one striking Scorpion. So this part of the battlefield still hangs in the balance. And then over on the other side, the Avatar killed 2 Terminators, and the remaining Terminator did 2 wounds in return. So that's a draw in melee. Right, Eldar turn 5 movement. Yeah, Direvengers shuffled an inch towards the objective. They've got to get near that, so they're going to run on this turn. Harlequin's moved up, trying to finish off that Terminator. Rayford's climbed up on the wreck here. He's going to assault down on James's Furioso Dreadnought. Uriel's got out, it's a bit safer now with the Fire Dragons. And they're going to attempt to move up towards James's objective. And then look around on the other side. They forgot to get out the Direvengers. They're out, but they're pinned, so they're stuck at the back. So the Scorpions moved up. They're going to try and assault Death Company and the Reclusiarch. And then the transport skimmed and jumped over to try and shoot out the Dreadnought from behind. Eldar shooting an assault. The Eldar Harlequins have charged in on the remaining Terminator. Wraithlord charged into James's Dreadnought there. The Scorpion shot at the Death Company and about to do any damage. Transport shot behind and destroyed the Death Company Dreadnought. Brilliant firepower. So Eldar assault phase coming up now. So now the Scorpions have charged in. Disorder charge. They've charged the Death Company and they've charged the Reclusiarch as well. Right, Eldar turn 5. Combat. The striking Scorpions killed 2 Death Company, and in return the Death Company killed about 6. They lost and fell back 4 inches in this direction. Death Company regrouped, and the Warp Spider ran and was killed. James's Terminator survived every hit from the Harlequins. The Avatar killed him off. So James has no more units there. The Wraithlord blew up